Doug wakes up early and pulls out his laptop to work on his dropshipping business. He's been watching online gurus who told him he can make millions by selling weighted blankets over the internet. But he gets a TikTok notification from his mate who sent a funny Patrick Bateman meme. He then scrolls like a brain-dead freak for hours, watches how to get a girlfriend and kissing prank videos on YouTube. Then he looks up at the clock. It's 5 PM. Doug, you idiot, you just wasted your whole day on social media again. Andrew Tate is going to be so disappointed.
Put the wages back where they belong. It's 9 AM.
Now you can't be a top G and escape the matrix. Maverick doesn't procrastinate, only works. He made 40 G's already today, did his workout, and went on a date with a baddie. Now it's time to sit back, relax, and watch another banger from Hayden. So today we're going to talk about one of the biggest obstacles that we all face during our lives, which is procrastination. It's a common phenomenon that we've all experienced, but not many of us know how to deal with it. We all have those days where we feel like putting things off and procrastinating, but it's important to remember that procrastinating is really harmful for our productivity and mental well-being. So in this video, I'll share some practical tips and techniques that can help you overcome procrastination and get things done. And bro, I swear to God, you better not be watching this video just to procrastinate even further. But if you genuinely need the help, I'm here to provide an actionable approach. But before we dive into how to overcome procrastination, let's first understand what it is. Procrastination is the act of postponing or delaying a decision or task. It's when we intentionally put off doing something that we know we're supposed to do, but instead we decide to waste our time on social media or just staring out the window. Procrastination is not only a waste of time, but it also causes stress, anxiety, and guilt. But now that we understand what procrastination is, let's explore why we do it. Now, there are many other reasons why we procrastinate, but here are some of the most common ones I've found. First of all, we experience a lack of motivation. When we lack motivation, we tend to procrastinate, and it's hard to get started on something when we don't feel motivated or inspired. We also procrastinate because we're afraid of failing, because it's easier just to put something off rather than actually facing the possibility of failure. Some strive for perfection, so become overwhelmed and feel like they can never do anything well enough. This can lead to procrastination because we don't want to start something if we know it can't be perfect. And worst of all, in today's digital age, distractions are everywhere. Social media, emails, and other notifications can easily distract us from the task at hand. And if you're still one of those losers with a Netflix account that complains that they don't have enough time to achieve their goals, what are you seriously doing? You, of all people, really need to pay attention to this video. And if you've cancelled your Netflix subscription, then great job, because it's one of the most important steps to avoid procrastination. But there's more, so let's explore some of the tips to overcome it. Step number one on how to overcome procrastination is to set achievable goals. Because when we set achievable goals, we're more likely to follow through with them. Instead of seeing unrealistic goals, break them down into smaller, more manageable tasks. We all had that high school or university assignment that we had 2 months to complete, and then we wait until the last week, or maybe even some people day, to really rush and complete it and then hand it in complete shit. But if we do that same body of work in the first week instead, we don't actually do any more work. You just do the work and have 7 extra weeks to fix it up a little. Away from the example, but an actionable approach towards this tip is to first define the task you want to complete. Be specific and clear about what you need to do and write it down so you have a visual representation of the task. Once you've identified the task, identify the subtasks that need to be completed to accomplish it. Think about the different steps or actions that are required to achieve the desired outcome. Once you've identified all the subtasks, prioritize them in order of importance or urgency. This will help you focus on the most critical tasks first and ensure you're making progress. Hence, making these tasks less daunting and easier to accomplish. And by doing this, you'll feel a sense of accomplishment after each and every step, making you more motivated to keep going. So if you have a big project to complete, break it down to small individual tasks and set achievable deadlines for them. Step number 2 is to create a plan. Having a plan can help us stay on track and avoid procrastination. It's as simple as writing down a plan for what you need to do, and you'll just start doing it. And it'll help you stay organized and focused on your tasks. So simply make a list of all the things you need to do and when you need to do them by. And you can use a calendar or planner to keep track of all these tasks and deadlines. But just by having a clear plan, you're less likely to start procrastinating again. Now, creating this schedule is a really powerful tool to stay focused and on task, but it's a discipline required to stick to all the things you've planned that not many people have. It's easy just to skip out on a workout or a 1-hour block of deep work because you just don't feel like it or feel like you deserve a break. But you must plan it separately, time to have short breaks or free time for yourself. Step number 3 is to remove distractions. The easiest way to do this is to identify what distracts you and then remove it. For God's sake, please turn your phone on black and white and you'll see massive drop-offs in your screen time. I promise that one simple change can halve your screen time, and it's worked for me and some of my friends as well. With constant notifications, addictive features, and an endless stream of content, it's easy to get sucked in the black hole of scrolling, liking, and commenting. Social media platforms are designed to keep users engaged for as long as possible, which means there can be a significant time sink. This can be particularly damaging to people who rely on their productivity to meet deadlines and achieve goals like yourself, bro. The constant distraction and interruption of social media can disrupt one's focus, reduce motivation, and decrease overall performance. Additionally, studies have shown that increased social media usage can lead to increased stress, anxiety, and depression, all of which can further impair productivity. And although social media has its benefits as a source of information, it's essential to be aware of its negative impact on productivity and take steps to limit its use. Step number 4 on how to overcome procrastination is to focus on the present moment. Instead of worrying about the future, focus on what you need to currently do right now. It's easy to get lost in a world worrying about your future career, your health, a life partner, your family, your friends. But all that stress and anxiety is a heavy weight on your shoulders that you just don't need. It's also just as easy to think about past regrets. We've probably all struggled at night thinking over and over again about that time we embarrassed ourselves, and we think everyone judges us and remembers us for it. But to be honest, most people forget, and you shouldn't really rest on those laurels, because the reality is they've already forgot it happened. I've certainly had a lot of these moments, more than I'd like to admit, but life does get complex. But it's those complexities that we can experience more joy, gratitude, and contentment as we appreciate the richness that life brings. You have to take the good with the bad sometimes, move on, and don't let it draw back on what you want to become. Because living in the present moment helps us cultivate a deeper sense of inner peace and fulfillment as we learn to accept and cherish the present moment for what it is. Step number 5 is to find what motivates you and use it to your advantage. Maybe it's a simple reward after completing a task or some motivational music, but one of the biggest motivators is the desire to achieve a particular outcome or the fear of missing a deadline. When someone has a sense of direction coupled with the fear of not completing a task within a dedicated time frame, they become incredibly powerful and hard to stop. Another powerful motivator that works for some people is visualizing the task that they're going to do. When we visualize our goals, we activate the same parts of our brain that are activated when we actually perform the actions necessary to achieve them. This helps to build the neural pathways to make our goals a reality. By regularly visualizing our desired outcomes, we become more focused and motivated, and we're better able to identify and pursue the specific actions that will bring us closer to our goals. This is where we get the same idea of manifestation, which some people believe, some people don't. But if you harness these motivators, you can also harness the momentum to take you further than anyone else expects of you. Step number 6 is practicing self-discipline, which is essential for overcoming procrastination. You need to hold yourself accountable and don't give in to the temptations to procrastinate. I've been reading Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, and whilst losing weight to make it back into the Navy SEALs training, he shared the story of when he fell one pull-up short from finishing his workout. He didn't worry about it, packed up and went home, but on the way home it ate away at him that he didn't do enough because that lack of discipline is what hurts most. So he drove back to the gym and redid his whole workout to make up for it. Because discipline isn't doing what's required, it's doing your best on a consistent basis. Then on a long enough time frame, results will show. And the time frame isn't a week, a month, or even a year. Usually it takes as long as a decade, and that number may be daunting at first, but trust me, it's worth it if you really want to try hard for it and be disciplined. Step number 7 is to use the Pomodoro technique. The Pomodoro technique involves working in intervals of 25 minutes, then followed by a short break. It's a time management method that was developed in the 1980s by Francesco Cirillo. Definitely butchered that name. The technique involves breaking your workday into 25-minute intervals called Pomodoros, separated by short breaks. During each Pomodoro, you focus on one task, eliminate all distractions, and then keep working until the timer goes off. After each interval, you take a short break, usually about 3 to 5 minutes, just to recharge until you get back onto your next Pomodoro. And then after 4 Pomodoros, you take an even longer break, usually about 15 to 30 minutes. And this Pomodoro technique can help you stay focused, manage your time more effectively, and avoid burnout by balancing periods of work and rest. It's a simple yet powerful tool that can be adapted to a wide range of tasks and work environments. I've utilized and adapted this technique to work for me by doing this burst of work and then taking a break to shoot the basketball, maybe grab a glass of water, just something to take your mind off the original task. Overall, procrastination can be a challenging habit to break, but it's not impossible. By understanding why we procrastinate and then using the strategies that we discussed, it becomes easier to overcome. Remember, it's okay to make mistakes and have setbacks, but the most important thing is that you keep moving forward. Don't let procrastination hinder your ability to become a better person, get in the way you're learning, and cause a negative impact on a future career. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed. Tell a friend about the video if you think they need help with procrastination. Subscribe, like the video, and heading out.